I wasn't the type to believe in the one. Not before I met her. Emily wasn't loud, or showy, or someone who needed attention. But when she walked into a room, people noticed. There was a kind of gravity to her, like she'd already lived a dozen lives and could see through the one you were pretending to live. We met at a mutual friend's birthday. She was reading a book at a crowded table. I asked her what it was. She looked up, smiled, and said, "Something smarter than either of us." I was hooked. We started slow. Texts turned into calls. Calls into coffee. Coffee into nights where time didn't matter. She had a dry sense of humor, a sharp tongue, and the kind of presence that made everything around her feel elevated. After 6 months, we moved in together. After a year and a half, we got married. No huge ceremony. Just a backyard, close friends, good music, and vows that actually meant something. We were that couple. Not flashy. Not performative. Just solid. People told us they envied our stability. Emily worked in digital marketing, social media content for wellness brands, small boutiques, personal coaching accounts. Nothing huge, but she made decent money. She was always good with online stuff, algorithms, audience psychology. She worked long hours, sure, but from home, mostly. With her laptop, a cup of tea, and an ever-changing playlist humming in the background. I worked in IT for a school district. Not glamorous. But steady. And it meant I was home every night. We cooked together. Watched docuseries. Took weekend road trips just to find new pizza places. I never imagined I'd be someone who loved that kind of simplicity, but with her, it felt like peace. She didn't post much on social media. Said she hated how fake it all felt. "Let the world guess," she'd say. "Privacy is power." I loved that about her. So when things started to shift, I didn't notice right away. Or maybe I chose not to. It was small at first. She started working later. Took more client calls at odd hours. Locked her office door more often. She laughed at her phone more, private, silent laughs that felt like they were shared with someone else. I told myself it was nothing. That she was just focused. That she needed space. That maybe I was the one pulling away without realizing it. But then came the passwords. The erased history. The strange packages. The energy that changed in the room when I entered. I still believed in her. Right up until the moment I opened that envelope in the mailbox. That was the moment the ground cracked open. And I fell into a life I didn't know I was living. My name's Jake, I'm 35, and for the past 7 years, I thought I was living a quiet, happy life with my wife, Emily. We weren't flashy. We didn't post our whole lives online. We weren't that couple doing TikTok dances in the kitchen. We were low-key, regular jobs, lazy Sundays, pizza nights, road trips with indie playlists. Honestly, I liked it that way. Emily was always a little more, out there. Confident, social, sharp-tongued when she needed to be. But I loved that. I loved her spark. She worked in digital marketing, did freelance content stuff on the side, nothing that really concerned me. She was always on her phone or laptop, but that wasn't weird. That's how she worked. At least, that's what I thought. Things started feeling off maybe 4-5 months ago. Hard to explain at first, just subtle changes. She started locking her phone. Like, okay, fine. Privacy. Whatever. But she also started taking it everywhere. Shower. Phone. Bathroom. Phone. She even stopped putting it on the charger at night, kept it under her pillow. And she laughed a lot more. At her screen. Not like, haha cat video, laughing. Like she was talking to someone. Like she was being watched. One night, I asked her about it. We were on the couch, she was texting furiously and smirking. What's so funny? She locked the screen. Just client stuff. Clients make you laugh like that? She rolled her eyes. You wouldn't get it. It's kind of an inside joke with the team. I dropped it. But something about the way she said, you wouldn't get it, rubbed me raw. Over the next few weeks, I started noticing more things. She'd disappear into the bedroom in the evenings, say she was finishing up edits. I'd hear her talking quietly, not full-on conversations, just whispers. Sometimes, moans. I tried to brush it off. Maybe she was recording content for clients. ASMR. Voiceovers. I didn't want to be that guy. The paranoid husband who thinks his wife's every move is some big conspiracy. But I couldn't ignore the feeling in my gut. One night, I got up at 2 a.m. to grab water. She wasn't in bed. I found her in the living room, sitting on the floor, laptop open. Headphones in. A dim ring light was glowing behind her. She jumped when I walked in. Jesus, Jake, you scared me. What are you doing? Just testing video settings for a project. I nodded. Walked away. But something in me broke. And it got worse. I started checking her browser history. Nothing. I mean literally nothing. Wiped clean. Every day. I knew then, something was up. I didn't want to confront her without proof. So I waited. Watched. And then one afternoon, I checked our mailbox. There was a small envelope. No return address. My name on the front, not hers. Inside, was a printed screenshot. Of her. In lingerie. Sitting on our bed. Smiling at the camera like she wasn't married. Like I didn't exist. Underneath, one sentence. Thanks for sharing her with us. She's incredible. I must have stood in the hallway for 10 straight minutes, just holding that photo. My hands were shaking. It wasn't just the picture, though that was bad enough. It was what it meant. That someone out there, some stranger, knew my wife like that. Had seen her like that. And worse, thanked me for it. I sat on the edge of the couch staring at it. My brain ran in circles. Trying to make sense of it. Maybe it was photoshopped. Maybe someone hacked her. Maybe this was a prank. But no. That was our bed. That was her robe. That was the scar on her thigh from the time she slipped on the deck last summer. This was real. And she didn't even know I'd seen it yet. That night, I couldn't look her in the eyes. I went to bed early, said I had a migraine. She kissed my forehead like nothing was wrong. Like she wasn't being sold in pieces to people I'd never meet. I didn't sleep. I lay in the dark, replaying every moment from the last few months, all the weird excuses, the laughing at her screen, the deleted history, the ring light, the locked phone. And then it hit me. Telegram. She always kept it tucked away in a work folder on her phone. I remembered it because I once asked her why she had 2 messaging apps, and she shrugged it off with. Some clients prefer Telegram, that's all. The next day while she showered, I took a risk. Her phone was on the nightstand. She never left it unlocked, but maybe, I hoped, she forgot this time. She didn't. Face ID. I held it up to her face while she slept the night before. I hated myself a little for doing it. But I hated this feeling more. I went straight to Telegram. What I saw made my stomach twist. There was a private channel, no name, just a red lipstick emoji. I tapped it. Dozens, no, hundreds, of posts. Scrolling back weeks. Months. Photos. Clips. Captions. Polls. Should I wear the black set tonight or the white one? He still doesn't know smiling face with horns. Want a sneak peek of tonight's session? Drop a fire. She was narrating our life. Turning our bedroom into a goddamn show. And the worst part? There were comments. Hundreds of users, all anonymous usernames, all hyping her up like she was a goddess. Some were just emojis. Others were detailed. Obscene. One said. Bro's wife belongs to the community now skull. I wanted to throw the phone across the room. But I kept digging. Pinned to the top of the channel was a link. It led to a payment page. Monthly subscription. Tiered access. $9.99 for basic. $29.99 for extras. $69.99 for exclusive live access. She was making money off this. Off me. There were at least 2,000 active members. I did the math. And then I couldn't breathe. Thousands. Maybe tens of thousands of dollars. All while I paid rent, groceries, insurance, and wondered why she never stressed about work. When she got out of the shower that morning, I was sitting at the kitchen table, still holding her phone. She froze when she saw me. I didn't yell. I didn't throw anything. I just said. How long? Her face went blank. No fake confusion. No playing dumb. Just resignation. About 8 months, she said. 8 months of turning me into some joke. It's not like that. Then what's it like, Emily? Enlighten me. She pulled out a chair, sat across from me. It started as a dare. Some girls in a group chat were talking about side hustles. Someone joked about monetizing your marriage. I was curious. I posted a few things anonymously. People responded. I didn't think it would blow up like this. You didn't think? Or you didn't care? It's not personal, Jake. That was the line. Not personal. You filmed me sleeping. Posted shots of our room. Talked about our sex life like it was content. How the hell is that not personal? She sighed. Like I was being dramatic. You never paid attention, Jake. You were always tired. Always distant. This made me feel seen. Wanted. I laughed. Loud. Bitter. So you sold me to the internet because I didn't give you enough compliments? It's not about compliments. It's about control. About being in charge of my own story. Your story. Emily, it was our story. Not anymore. And just like that, she stood up, walked to the bedroom, and locked the door. I sat there for hours. Staring at nothing. The next morning, I woke up to find half her clothes gone. So was her laptop. And her ring. On the pillow beside me was a single sheet of paper. Not a note. Not an apology. A screenshot. Of her Telegram income dashboard. Total, $76,482.91. At the bottom, she'd scribbled. I finally built something of my own. Don't try to destroy it. For the next few days, I barely left the house. I didn't go to work. I didn't return texts. I ignored calls. I just sat in silence, my mind buzzing like static, like an old TV left on a dead channel. I kept replaying it all, every laugh she made while looking at her phone, every work trip, every night she slipped into bed smelling like fresh makeup and fake excuses. All of it now made sense in the worst possible way. She wasn't working late. She wasn't filming client content. She was selling me. Selling us. I stared at that screenshot she left me like it was a death certificate. $76,000. And 91 cents. She'd built an empire of betrayal. And what did I have? A half-empty closet. A ruined marriage. 1,000 unspoken questions. For 2 nights, I barely slept. I went down every rabbit hole imaginable. Reddit threads about revenge. Legal subreddits on non-consensual sharing. Articles about digital consent laws. Some states had gray zones. Some required both-party consent. But it was hard to prove without explicit content of me. Most of it was of her. She was smart. Too smart. She made it legal. Just barely. I thought about hiring a lawyer. But that would make it real. That would drag me through courtrooms and statements and shame I wasn't ready to carry. So instead, I watched. I created a burner account. Paid $9.99. Joined her channel. There she was. Posting like nothing had happened. Took a few days off. Needed to reset. Back with something extra tonight, face blowing a kiss. She was radiant. Not like someone who just left her husband. Like someone free. She posted a photo. Our bed, but changed. New pillows. New sheets. But the same headboard. The same angle. She captioned it. Fresh start. New energy. Same fire. The comments poured in. Missed you, Queen. Glad you're back, fire. We knew you'd never stay away. And then one that chilled me. He didn't deserve you anyway. It had 5 likes. I stared at it for a long time. Someone out there knew. Not just about the channel, but about me. I clicked the username. Blank profile. No posts. But the name stuck out. At Owen Knows. I checked again the next morning. He'd posted a comment under a new video. It was just audio. Her moaning. Whispering. Saying things I wish I could forget. He commented. That sound, unmatched. Can't believe he had this and still lost you. I couldn't take it anymore. I messaged him. Just 3 words. Who are you? No reply. But 20 minutes later, I got an email. Not from him, but from a burner address. Subject, you shouldn't have messaged him. The body of the email was a photo. Of my house. Taken from outside. At night. My living room lights on. Silhouette of me inside. I dropped my phone. Ran to the window. No one there. But I couldn't breathe. This wasn't just humiliation anymore. It was exposure. Real, physical vulnerability. She didn't just sell my intimacy. She left the door open for strangers to walk in. I called the police. Filed a report. They told me unless there was a break-in or a direct threat, there wasn't much they could do. Could be an online troll, they said. Happens a lot. Happens a lot. This was my life. I installed cameras the next day. Deadbolts. Changed all my passwords. Blocked the channel. But it was too late. The damage was done. A week passed. No word from her. No message. No apology. Nothing. Until a letter arrived. No stamp. No address. Just slid into my mailbox like before. I opened it with shaking hands. Inside was a Polaroid. Emily. Sitting at our kitchen table. From the outside, through the window. Same robe. Same smirk. And a note scrawled on the back. She might have left you. But some of us never will. Something changed in me after that second photo. I stopped shaking. Stopped crying. Stopped pacing the house like some anxious, broken man waiting for the next violation. No. I started planning. They say revenge isn't healthy. that it keeps you chained to the past. But this wasn't about revenge anymore. This was about reclaiming control. About reminding them, that I wasn't just some character in her dirty little narrative. I was real. And I wasn't going to disappear quietly. I started simple. New email. VPN. Fresh browser. I needed to disappear digitally while I got to work. If she could run a secret channel, I could run a ghost profile. I joined again. As someone else. Same channel. Different view. This time I wasn't scrolling in horror. I was analyzing. Every post. Every caption. Every user who commented more than once. I made lists. Tracked usernames. Cross-referenced post times. I found patterns. She always posted between 9 p.m. and midnight. She always teased content 3 days before she dropped exclusive clips. She used the same ring light. The same phone. The same camera angle. She never changed the metadata. Amateur mistake. Her file names had timestamps. Location codes. Even EXIF data still intact. I downloaded every piece of content I could reach and ran it through analysis tools. Her IP was masked, sure, but not always. One video uploaded while she was on hotel Wi-Fi during a conference. I traced that upload to a real-world location. I called the hotel. Pretended to be billing support. Said I was verifying charges for a corporate client. They gave me the name on the room. Emily. Her real name. No alias. I smiled. Now I had proof, this wasn't anonymous. This wasn't fiction. She was real. And traceable. Next, I tracked one of her most active followers. @Owen Knows. The guy who sent that letter. Turns out, he wasn't that hard to find. He reused the same username across platforms. Reddit. Discord. Even a dumb fitness forum. He once bragged about meeting his favorite creator at a gas station. He listed the location. The brand. The date. 2 weeks ago. That's when I knew, he was local. I passed it to my buddy Eric, an IT guy who owed me a favor. He ran deeper queries. Within 24 hours, we had his real name, address, and employer. I didn't care about confronting him, not yet. I just wanted him to know. So I sent him a package. A screenshot of his comment. He didn't deserve you anyway. Underneath, I added one line. You think you know her? I knew her before the costume. Then I waited. That night, I went further. I compiled everything I had, her real identity, business transactions, payment screenshots, leaked subscriber data, metadata inconsistencies, into a full dossier. And I sent it. Not to her. To the IRS. To her clients, the brands she worked with in digital marketing. To her mother. And finally, to her. Subject, you built this on lies. Now watch it fall. No reply. But within 2 hours, her Telegram channel went dark. Deleted. Her Twitter bio vanished. Her PayPal links broke. That night, I received one last message. No greeting. Just a sentence. You really think this will stop me? I didn't answer. Instead, I opened a private folder on my drive. Inside, backups. Full logs. 2 terabytes of archived content. Timelines. Legal notes. Because I wasn't done. Not yet. For a while, I thought deleting her channel would be enough. That maybe, just maybe, taking away her platform would mean the story was over. But I was wrong. The silence that followed wasn't peaceful, it was strategic. The kind of quiet that comes before another storm. Emily didn't panic when her telegram vanished. She didn't reach out, didn't defend herself, didn't even threaten me again. She just disappeared. Which scared me more than any scream ever could. She was preparing her next move. I could feel it. And that's when I realized, she would always stay 2 steps ahead, unless I stopped playing defense. It was time to make the story public. On my terms. I spent the next 2 days putting everything together. Not as a rant. Not a call-out. As a documentary. A real, time-stamped, fact-checked record of what happened. I started with screenshots of her posts. Blurring what needed to be blurred, but keeping just enough. Enough to confirm it was her. Enough that anyone who had followed her online would recognize the set, the language, the signature emoji she always signed off with. Then I added voiceover. My voice. Calm. Clear. Tired. My name is Jake. For 7 years, I thought I was happily married. I was wrong. I broke it into chapters. Chapter 1, how it started, the red flags, the whispers in the night, the photos I wasn't supposed to see. Chapter 2, what I found, her channel, her fans, her income, the messages they sent. Chapter 3, what it did to me, isolation, paranoia, fear, humiliation. Chapter 4, what I did, how I tracked her, exposed her patterns, shut it all down. Chapter 5, why this isn't just my story. Because it isn't. It's the story of every person who's had their trust turned into a product. I didn't say her name. I didn't have to. I let the evidence speak. I uploaded the video to a burner YouTube channel with no name. No branding. Just the title. She sold our intimacy. I'm taking it back. I didn't share it anywhere. I didn't have to. The internet has its own heartbeat. By the next morning, it had over 4,000 views. Then 50,000. It hit Reddit. X, TikTok commentary pages. People started recognizing her, not just from her anonymous channel, but from real life. Old classmates. Colleagues. One of her ex-boyfriends. The comments turned from shock to outrage. I subscribed to her thinking she was single. She played us all. Imagine monetizing your own husband without his consent. Some fans defended her, of course. She didn't do anything illegal. She owned her body and her story. But most didn't. Because this wasn't about owning your body. It was about selling someone else's trust, piece by piece, for profit. By day 3, her name was trending. Not her channel name. Her real name. Her personal website was flooded with hate mail. A brand she'd worked with released a statement saying she no longer represented their values. A client publicly canceled her contract. Then came the fallout I didn't expect. Her mother called me. A woman I hadn't spoken to in 2 years. She sounded tired. Sad. Broken. I'm so sorry, Jake. We had no idea. She's not who we thought she was. I didn't know what to say. What do you say when even a parent realizes they've raised a mask? The next week, I moved out of our apartment. I found a small place outside the city, quiet, a little beat up, but mine. The air smelled different. Like something new could finally grow. I thought I was done with her. Until I got one final letter. No return address. Same handwriting. You think you've won, but you've only made me harder to trace. You didn't destroy me. You made me evolve. No apology. No accountability. Just confirmation that for people like her, control is the addiction. So I changed tactics. I stopped trying to beat her at her own game. And started living like she didn't matter anymore. I deleted the burner accounts. Took the video down, it had done its job. I left the ashes where they lay. Let her rebuild in the shadows. Let her hide behind new usernames. Because I'm not hiding anymore. I'm done being content. I don't know what happened to her after that. I don't care. Maybe she started over. Maybe she changed her name, her face, her platform. Maybe she convinced someone new that she was just misunderstood. But none of that's my story anymore. Because when she sold our intimacy to strangers, she also sold the version of me that stayed silent. That trusted without question. That forgave without being asked. He's gone now. And what's left isn't bitter. Isn't broken. He's just awake.